Welcome to the Pole Shift. Guys, before we start, as usual, big thanks to those few people, and it's always a few. Regardless of how many subscribers we got, we always get a couple that support the video, and the channel, and the website, and this research. What we're looking at is climate chaos unleashing on the planet. We have got all sorts taking place. Equatorial jet streams crossing from the southern hemisphere over into the northern hemisphere. We're supposed to only have 2 jet streams over the northern hemisphere and 2 at the bottom. But what we're looking at is absolutely insane. Just going to go round and show you the state at play at this present time. Just look at how this jet stream here comes from the south, straight over the equatorial region, right up into the subtropical regions. Unbelievable. This is climate chaos, guys. We are seeing jet streams drag the Arctic climate down into subtropical zones. We're seeing the equatorial regions bring up that heat from those regions, and they are smashing together and delivering it over Europe right now. What is the cause of this? It's the migration of the magnetic poles. They regulate. There's no coincidence, guys, where the jet streams form. We don't get a subtropical and a polar jet stream over the northern hemisphere at 30 degrees and 60 degrees, and likewise over the southern hemisphere at 30 degrees and 60 degrees. This is where those jet streams should be, as you can see. I mean, if we didn't know any better, we would think with those 2 bands we was looking at Jupiter, wouldn't we? It's incredible. And this isn't just it. It isn't just the delivery of where the jet streams is dumping this weather. It's the temperatures that are mixing with these jet streams and where they're coming from, and then where it's being delivered. I'm going to take you over to the temperature so we can have a look at what's going on, and it will give us an idea of where those magnetic poles are moving. And I do believe that there has been a recent move in the magnetic pole, more so than what the mainstream organisations are doing. And I've got to agree with one of those people that commented on one of the videos. They first of all, I think I'd brought their attention to the magnetic pole shift, and then secondly, they'd started to do a bit of research themselves and come back and said, these organisations, even the ESA, NASA, and all the other organisations, haven't got a clue what's going on. And it's true, they don't have a clue what's going on. It's becoming unpredictable. We are losing our ability to forecast what is going to take place next on this planet as a regard of this shutdown of the climate, the ocean conveyors and the jet streams. It's going to pot, guys, and it should be on mainstream media, but instead they'd rather cover, the elections and the Brexit and things like that, and who's going to be moving into office in the White House over in the States, and all these things really are irrelevant. The well-being of this planet surely should outweigh those trivia subjects, and yet they're not, for some reason. It's incredible. Don't they want the world inhabitants to know exactly what is going on in this world right now? Guys, I'm going to take you around the planet at the moment, but what I want you to pay attention to is the regions that are lacking in temperatures of around 30 degrees. There is one continent which I've already found out is, happily enjoying that sort of temperature. It seems to be the only one on the planet. That's Australia at the moment. But check out this, all around the equatorial regions, 19 degrees, 17 degrees, 26 degrees. On the equatorial region, guys, this is supposedly the hottest place on the Earth. And it is the same for all around the equatorial region. As I said, Australia benefiting from, in some regions, nearly 40 degrees Celsius. But it's incredible. Look at that. These are the hottest regions on our planet usually. If you live in some of these regions, maybe you're noticing it quite not as warm as what it usually is. If you're in Europe right now, you definitely know something's not right. Look at this, guys. On the fringes of the Mediterranean, just check that out, -degrees there, -9, -8, -6. It's incredible. And if we go right over the Arctic region, we can see now that the most dense region of where this cold area is going to be where the magnetic North Pole is. We can see the break in the magnetic North Pole clearly now, where the two dense areas are showing, super cold temperatures of 52 degrees minus. And slap bang in the middle, -29, there's nearly a 20 degrees difference in the centre of that region, and that is because the magnetic field right over the Arctic region right now is breaking apart. There is two poles over the northern hemisphere and two poles over the southern hemisphere which are fracturing. And you know what happens when you break two magnets? They become a north and a south in themselves. And right now, the compass is pointing directly in between this break here. And this is an indication that the stronger field over the northern hemisphere is somewhere over Siberia right now. But this pole migration is responsible for the travel of this Arctic temperature that is now moving, southeasterly over the continent. It's incredible, guys. The devastation that this is going to have on everything. It affects everything. Biodiversities across all the ranges. I'll just take you around so you can have a look for yourselves. Over the Antarctic region, should be slightly warmer than what it usually is, and that's because of the angle of the Earth compared to the Sun, the position at the moment that we're at. But just incredible. Just want to have a quick look at the sea surface temperature anomaly. And we can see, in most regions, for some reason the oceans are a lot warmer than average. And in some regions, nearly 2 degrees warmer than what they should be, on average. And, I've said this before, why they've put yellow as the hottest and the red as not so hot bewilders me, because you would think, as things gradually get warmer, with regards to the colour scheming on this weather modelling system, you would expect the red to be the hottest, but for some reason it's the yellow. Just incredible, isn't it? To see our planet melt down in a space of time of about 20 years is, I think, unprecedented. And some of you guys out there think it's babble. I suppose at this point in time, people like me that are bringing this out, to the public. To some people, I suppose it's just going to sound like babble, and rambles, but it's not the case. There's so much going on right now, and there's some metaphysics going on here that even I'm struggling to grasp with, and so is most scientists at the moment. The field of science has delved now into something completely new, a new area of understanding. It's almost like the understanding of relativity, quantum physics. The possibility of something happening completely new and out of the blue that was completely unexpected or even thought not to have even been possible seems to be taking place right now. And if I can just, reiterate what I'm trying to say here, guys, if you just go and have a look yourselves at the quantum physics experiment that was done with regards to the double slit and the electrons being fired through it, only through observation was it altered the outcome. Now just think about that. How did the electron have conscious of its awareness that it was being observed? and it was repeatedly done, and proven to be fact that under observation, the subatomic particles, such as the electron, is conscious of its observation and therefore behaves completely different. We are in the world really of the unknown right now, and at a time where such a rare event such as the magnetic pole reversal is taking place, it really is incredible, guys, to see the jet streams behaving like this. Is just incredible. Yeah, I just can't emphasise it enough. It's shocking to know that this is going to have implications and be of a detriment to all species on this planet. It's no wonder we're getting beachings of certain species that rely on the magnetic poles of this planet for navigation. They also know, these species, that when water temperatures become a certain temperature, that it's time to migrate from them, and the whole system that they rely on naturally is starting to let them down as it changes. And this is what these people were talking about with climate chaos. We are now seeing it. When you start seeing equatorial jet streams buzz the equatorial region of this planet, you know something's wrong. When you no longer have set weather patterns and seasons, there's something wrong. And this will affect every human being on this planet at some point. And I think we're getting really close to that point with regards to what we're seeing now over the Northern Hemisphere. I did say, in all fairness, that we was yet to see some more inertia and more build-up of this colder region, and it would bring out the trend even more of where the magnetic North Poles were over the Arctic region, and we've seen that. This is what I'm saying to these people at these organisations. You need to start now factoring in other things in your weather modelling to get a more accurate and persistent forecast over the longer term of what's going to happen on this planet and where it's going to happen. And trust me, it's definitely going to happen on this region of the planet. As that pole increases in speed, when it hits them those weak magnetic field lines, it will pick up pace, and it will deliver those Arctic regions to a new position on this planet during that. And that's what I think we're seeing right now. This is a planet-size object, and the mechanics are massive, so therefore the inertia is going to be slow. But even so, changes over a 10-year period will be significant enough to be a detriment to a lot of species on this planet. We're just getting into this, guys. What I'm saying is that there are a lot of implications that we've got to look at. When the magnetosphere starts to weaken, it's at 25% loss over a 50-year period at the moment. 1/4 of its normal output is down. Right, that allows more cosmic rays in, more low-level line clouds. That means you're getting water depositing over these regions in flash flood events that we're seeing. But not only that, it's the technological advancements that we're at this moment of time, and the vulnerability that has to solar flares, which are even more affected by a low magnetosphere, as well as inbound cosmic rays from all over the universe. Adding to that, we've got a low solar output when it should be high. Some things that are taking place in this solar system right now, right, are stacking up, right? And what I'm saying is as they stack up, it goes against the protection of this planet. We're looking at possibly a grid down event in a short period of time. If we get a moderate, doesn't have to be a Carrington event type flare with a weakened magnetosphere, there's less protection. Even a lesser event such as the Carrington event will cause massive damage, and even more so today because of the level of technology that we've got. We are very heavily technologically dependent right now. Like I say, it's just all of this is stacking up against us. And where is the mainstream media? Why are they talking about the well, it's just not important. Why aren't they mentioning this? This is big. This is the biggest event that has taken place in human history. Why isn't it being talked about more on mainstream? Why aren't more people being drawn to their attention to this? I can't believe it. Even now, when we see what we see, where are these scientists that work for these organisations? Why haven't they put this together yet? With regards to the climate being driven by the migrating poles. Why won't they just come out and say that? We're living in an ever-changing environment, and more so over the last 30 years with regards to the pole shift. And I'm going to leave it there, guys. It's a mess, isn't it? It's not good. Try not to let it spoil your week, guys. And I'll leave a link down there if you want to support the channel. You know what we do here. We do more than just a weather report on this channel. We're actually examining the causes of a lot of what's taking place right now. And there's a link down there and you can support it if you want. It's not mandatory. The website's free, but it is good when we get some support. We can do more if we get more help. That's the bottom line of it, guys. So the link's down there if you want to help. And as always, guys, you take care and, keep your eye on things. Keep your eye on this weather system that's over, smothering Europe right now and right over Siberia, Russia. It's amazing. So you take care, and as always, I'll say what I usually do. Bye for now. Hi, welcome to the Pole Shift. Guys, before we start, as usual, big thanks to those few people, and it's always a few. Regardless of how many subscribers we got, we always get a couple that support the video and the channel and the website and this research. What we're looking at is climate chaos unleashing on the planet. We have got all sorts taking place. Equatorial jet streams crossing from the southern hemisphere over into the northern hemisphere. We're supposed to only have 2 jet streams over the northern hemisphere and 2 at the bottom. But what we're looking at is absolutely insane. Just going to go round and show you the state at play at this present time. Just look at how this jet stream here comes from the south straight over the equatorial region right up into the subtropical regions. Unbelievable. This is climate chaos, guys. We are seeing jet streams drag the Arctic climate down into subtropical zones. We're seeing the equatorial regions bring up that heat from those regions, and they are smashing together and delivering it over Europe right now. What is the cause of this? It's the migration of the magnetic poles. They regulate. There's no coincidence, guys, where the jet streams form. We don't get a subtropical and a polar jet stream over the northern hemisphere at 30 degrees and 60 degrees, and likewise over the southern hemisphere at 30 degrees and 60 degrees. This is where those jet streams should be, as you can see. I mean, if we didn't know any better, we would think with those 2 bands we was looking at Jupiter, wouldn't we? It's incredible. And this isn't just it. It isn't just the delivery of where the jet streams is dumping this weather. It's the temperatures that are mixing with these jet streams and where they're coming from, and then where it's being delivered. I'm going to take you over to the temperature so we can have a look at what's going on, and it will give us an idea of where those magnetic poles are moving. And I do believe that there has been a recent move in the magnetic pole, more so than what mainstream organisations are doing. And I've got to agree with one of those people that commented on one of the videos. They first of all, I think I brought their attention to the magnetic pole